This is what the world has resulted to. This is why you see so many people defeated, because they're now conditioning themselves to not feel as though they're losing. I know a lot of people out here today is feeling defeated with life. And this is something that a lot of people are going through today. And I get it. A lot of you want to quit. I get it. A lot of you have no hope. I get it. When you look at all the obstacles that you have to try to hurdle over, it make you want to give up. A lot of people today are giving up. You see jobs just doing anything to people. You seeing people just being let go of jobs that was there for over 20 years, 30 years. It don't matter. Longevity and being in this world today of just thinking that you can be committed to one area of your life seems to not show any type of hope or success for most people. People are starting to just fall off of the planet, just feeling like they just get up every day and they just living whatever that means to them. Whether that means doing nothing with their life, feeling like there's no hope. It used to be a time that a lot of people used to get up and feel like they was working towards something, feeling like they was doing something beneficial to their livelihood, or wanting a new house. They like, yo, I'm working hard to get a new house. I'm working hard to get this new vehicle. Everything felt like it was achievable, like it felt like you was working towards something in order to be able to achieve that. And I'm not gonna say it was easy, but you knew that you could work towards it. You can see it. You can have a vision. And that vision made you feel as though it was beneficial for you to work that hard to do what you was doing. Those sacrifices that you have, you know, putting it on your back to be able to take care of your family and also look at your kids and be able to smile. Be able to say, yo, I am glad I'm doing this. Even though I'm tired, I am struggling. But at the end of the day, I got help because I can look at my significant other and be able to say, yo, they got my back. I feel good when I come home. I got a nice cooked meal. The kids are, your kids might be acting up, but at the end of the day, those are your kids. They respectful. They understand you. They know when you're not playing. They know when you're serious. They know all the things about you. The person you're with, you look at them and you at them for inspiration, you know. And this is the thing that makes people feel defeated today. Everything that I just talked about is reversed. No one feels loved no more. You have a very limited amount of people today that can wake up and feel like everything that they're doing today is beneficial. You don't even see commitment no more on the level of as though you can depend on people. We are in the world now where as though if you see someone get married, the odds of them staying together, you already have a time clock for them. It's sad. You don't want to be negative, but at the same time, you have a lot going on in your life, so you can care less, but it's also on your mind. Like when you show up to a wedding, you're in a wedding, or you're part of it, you're like, most likely it ain't gonna last. Because you see it every day. It's norm. This is the norm. I don't know how many people today you see backstab their own friends. It used to be a time where as though people had a selective amount of friends that they can rely on. We're in an era now where as though you can't really rely on too many people. If you're lucky, you might have one. If you two, you hit the jackpot. If you hit three, you probably be a billionaire. Who knows? But to be realistic, the era that we in right now is defeating so many people, depriving so many families, hurting so many kids. How many kids today have you seen unliving themselves? Just taking themselves out because they are bombarded with so many struggles just to be young. They have kids that are actually threatening them, hurting them. They're going to schools feeling like they have nobody to turn to. You have so many people today looking for love, looking for their dad, looking for their mom. There's so many parents today that don't even work together because they hate each other. And it's due their own turmoil of whatever happened in relationships, whereas though the parties can't come together. And one of the biggest reasons why they can't come together is because we now have government, we now have setups, whereas though one party is able to take the resources from another party, which is going to cause a lot of envy. No matter what you say, when you take anything from anybody, you're going to have envy there because you're taking something from somebody that the other party didn't work towards. It's like everybody's looking for leverage over top of the next person. And normally when you have that happening, it's a fight. You become two boxers. They're trying to knock each other's head off. Literally. And sometimes physically. We are definitely in an era now where as though it's hard to turn the clock back to be able to say, let's work together. Because even though you want to work together, but it takes two. And the problem is, today, you have to actually strategize. You can't really lay all your cards out. Because a lot of times now, what's happening is, when you try to be a stand-up individual, a lot of times you might think you're going to come out on a win, but what tends to happen is used against you. Tell me, how can we get ahead where you have to be the person that has to use the most sneakiest methods in order to get ahead? Tell me how. How can we benefit off of looking out for each other without that person that you're looking out for taking advantage of you? You can't even start a company and think you're going to have a lot of people in the office that's going to look to vote you out if you tend to do something different outside of their comfort zone. We done seen people get voted out of companies that they started. It's their own company, but they have a board that's over top of them. Well, not really over top of them, but they can vote you out. We're definitely in defeated times. People are feeling so defeated. When you look at the economy, you can't even buy something without second guessing what you're buying. And then thinking about, damn, the electric bill is due. Ooh, I'm not going to let that skip because I'm already a month behind. And if you look at how everything is set up right now with the economy, everything is set up to keep you in the same place. And the reason why it's able to set you up, whereas though it's not making you, it's putting people in a predicament to keep them stagnated. And the reason why is because when you look at how the job market is, it's all lined up according to the way the economy is. If the economy is doing bad, jobs are not giving raises, and you're not working more hours or a certain amount of hours, or you see a lot of cutbacks, you see a lot of layoffs. Even now, you see so many layoffs. How can you figure life out when you have to figure out how you're going to be able to keep money in the bank, to be able to do stuff with, be able to pay your bills? If you're having a hard time paying your bills, it's hard to think about what you're going to do next because you have mouths to feed. And when you have mouths to feed, I don't care what nobody tell you. You can listen to any guru. You can listen to any scammer. You can listen to any pastor talk about how to get over a hurdle. It's hard to think about getting over a hurdle to be able to achieve anything when you don't even have enough funds to keep you afloat, to be able to survive, to be able to put food on the table. Because if you can't feed the mouths that you have in that home, or be able to keep the lights on, being able to just to just to be able to get groceries and cook a meal. It's not all about going out, because we already know going out today is obsolete. You go outside, be able to feed just say you feed two adults, just two adults. You're spending every bit of 100 or more. That doesn't even include your kids. So if you think about all the things that you have to do just to be able to enjoy the perks of life, that's a struggle. So when you take that off of the table and you say, I'm going to just cook, groceries are out of hand. And we wonder why people are feeling defeated. The money don't stretch as long as it used to. Now, you'll also hear people say, well, it shouldn't, because everything rises. No. Things rise, but not like this. This is a different type of rise. This is a rise of the money low, the rise is higher, everything goes up, nothing is coming back down. When the equity in your house is up here and you're looking to sell, but then when you don't think about when you sell, you're like, all right, but what am I going to buy next? You know how many people sold their homes? Made out when it came to the money. Was not able to find a home that they desired because they didn't really think about how much the house that they wanted cost. Everybody looked at, mostly, not everybody, most thought about the money they made, not realizing the money they made offset the new house, because the new house exceeded past what they actually thought that they could afford, or not thought that they could afford. They felt as though they can afford this house that was $250, not realizing the house that they could afford at $250 is now $350, some even $4, depending on the bidding war. And you wonder why people are feeling defeated with life. And it's crazy because when you look at feeling defeated, you look at how systems are set up to make men and women. When I say make, it makes. It's not just all on the man and a woman to be able to come together. When you set things up, I'm going to break something down to you. I don't know how many people is listening to this that been in relationships. I'm going to tell you something. When you're in relationships, when you have social media, it is addictive. If anyone has been on social media long enough, you will end up realizing it is easy said than done when you think about something that you don't understand. If you don't understand social media, you don't understand the ramifications of meeting people, talking to people, getting with people, what that does to the psyche. The accessibility makes relationships so hard to be able to gel. If someone is mouthing off, it's easy to say, well, just stick it through. How you stick something through when you have access to something else that's better, that you feel as though is better. And sometimes it might be better. You never know. But this is the problem. Social media done started so many wars. Not only social media, you look at all the things. Remember, dating apps was the thing. Dating apps was also the access point, the starting point, to get you to start to be like, yo, I'm looking for something. And then all of a sudden, you start looking at how, just think about it. You had MySpace. MySpace was the introduction. I don't know if that started it, but I remember it was MySpace for me. And then next thing you know, you start having these little sites that was like the sneaky link sites where I remember it was a site called Tag. And you hit a high sign. I forgot how it went, but I had fun. And when you are introduced to these sites, it basically grabs you and it pulls you into that web. to start to go on to other sites, and then next thing you know, you have Facebook. You're like, but damn, Facebook free. Free at what expense? Facebook started to introduce people to the people that they knew and people that they didn't know, and also inviting you into their home, not realizing that you are indulging in a bunch of your business, not really noticing that it felt like it's harmless. Yeah, you thought, and then next thing you know, it just started the whole chain of events with Instagram, TikTok. It just keeps going. And now we at a point now where the relationships are null and void. Nothing is working. And it won't. Like when you have men that say, I want this type of woman, but this the problem. If you lived, you partied a lot, and you went out a lot, as a man, I'm saying this from a man, it's hard to settle down. Because you don't have the same appetite that you should have. Because you indulged in a lot. You did a lot. So it's hard to be, I'm sorry to say, it's hard to sometimes be committed to one female, to be able to go home to the same female. You're going to get bored quick. So I can definitely say, on a man's part, that's what men going to be faced with. On a woman's part, they're going to get a lot of compliments, and they're going to read these compliments in the wrong way. Women are easily provoked to think that they can always have better. Who am I to tell them? A lot of times you got to crash and burn to find out. I grew up with nothing but women, so I already know how they operate. And I've been around a lot of women and had a nice amount of friends. Certain things that men do that make women gravitate to them, we just do because it's in our nature. But once we get what we want, we are going to show our true colors. So you can put us in a friend zone, but we're going to have other things on the side. At the end of the day, it's all a game. But with women, I tend to kind of, I think y'all can play the game too. Hey, so be it. Look where we at now. We all playing the game. So when you kind of wonder why everybody is feeling defeated, it's because everybody is exhausted. Men are exhausted from being used, thinking you planners. We know you planners, but it's at a point now where it starts blatant. These food dates, when you ain't feeling guys peeped it. When the last time you seen people meet and go for a walk in the park? That used to be the thing. That way you get a chance to bust it up, talk to each other. Literally, really used to go get a water ice cream. You know, it wasn't always just meeting up at a lounge, getting drinks and running the tab up. It wasn't all about that. But now it's about, let's run his pockets. So now you got guys that's actually going out, meeting up with girls like, yo, come through, come to my crib. Not only come to your crib, yo, let's just meet up. We know what meet up mean. Guys playing the game, the woman playing the game. Nobody's going to come together no more. Them days is null and void. When you look at marriages, you seeing a bunch of men being ran through and plummet. You seeing custody issues going wild. I've never seen so many people break up. Think about this. Have you ever seen so many people break up, and then all of a sudden when they break up, the guy is all of a sudden he's abusive. He done violated the female. He was just abusive. Ain't that funny? How every time now you see a breakup now, the guy on quote is abusive. Men are just being ran through right now. And we wonder why you're starting to see the whole pandemic of women say men don't approach no more. You wonder why? Why? When we in a society now where one person can get all the things they want in life, and when I say all the things they want in life, I'm not talking about everything. I'm talking about all the materialistic things. They can buy their home, they can buy their car, and they can find peace because they dictate the peace in their home when it's just them. This is what the world has resulted to. This is why you see so many people defeated, because they're now conditioning themselves to not feel as though they're losing. When you get defeated so many times and you don't see a win, what do you result to? You result to something that's called peace and balance and happiness. And the happiness always lies in you. And if you can make yourself happy, you look at the other party and say, I don't even need you around. If I'm content and I'm happy with life now, I'd rather it stay like this because I can control this.